Hey everyone, and welcome to Ask M&R episode 152, the series where I answer your questions. If you have a question about pretty much anything, leave in the comment section down below, and there's a chance I'll answer it next week. Well, this week, I have done a bad thing. A very bad thing. I'm going down a dark path. I got my first ever Lego Star Wars, not Lego, oh god, I'm just so used to saying that, but Star Wars Black Series figure. I've been eyeballing these Black Series figures from afar for a while now, and I finally took the leap of faith and bought my first one. I have another one coming in from GameStop later this week, and it's all downhill from here. Honestly, my life is about to fall into shambles. I'm going to buy all of the Black Series, I'm going to spend all of my money, and I'm going to be broke. And I'm fine with that, quite frankly, because Black Series is actually putting out some killer products that are actually desirable, unlike Lego, who is putting out another TIE Fighter and X-Wing. Am I going to make videos about my Black Series characters? No. It's just going to kind of probably be my little shame thing that I keep collecting on the side because I just need something to do type of thing. But I'm sure you'll see it in vlogs. I just, look, man, I feel bad about it. I'm not an action figure guy. I don't even think I'm going to take these out of the box. I'm literally just buying them to collect them because I want to. So take it for what it's worth, but it's happening, and I'm cautiously excited and also kind of scared of what might become of this collection. First question from Lego Star Wars Ivan. He says, do you think the new Mandalorian speeder bike will fit in the back of the Razor Crest, or would it be too big? Well, thankfully, they invented math a while back, and we can actually figure out if it will. Oh boy, do I always forget just how big the Razor Crest is. I keep it out in the garage in storage so it doesn't get dusty, and every time I take it out, I just get excited. It's a really cool ship to have in Lego. Still hoping for a UCS one. But anyway, to answer your question, we have the Mandalorian speeder from the Battle Pack earlier this year, and these sets weren't necessarily made to go together. Obviously, you don't ever see these speeders in the back of the Razor Crest, but as far as just a compatibility for fun, that's certainly something you can do. You can easily fit the Mandalorian speeder in there and close all of the panels, no problem. As for the Mando speeder, you actually can't really fit it in this way because it will be too wide at the back and hit the back, and I don't know, you can kind of get it, but it's not as smooth a fit, I would say, as if you try to pull it back out here. I think it did get snagged. This is why you don't want to put it in that way. If you put it in this way, front facing, and slowly push it on in there, it's going to be perfectly fine in there. Just like that, everything will close up. So yes, both speeders do actually fit, surprisingly to me, actually. You can see just there how much space you have. Not a lot of extra space, but hey, everything fits just fine if that's what you want to do with your Lego speeders when you're able to get that set. Go wild. So I don't know the resolution to this story, but Super Duper says, here's an interesting Lego customer service story. I sent a lengthy email protesting the mismanagement of the San Diego Comic-Con sets and how they were regional exclusives. I live in Europe. The customer service worker apologized 5 days later and sent me a Star Wars set for free. Saw the response today. I will update later to say what I received. So that's actually really cool of them to give you a set literally for free just because you were inconvenienced, even though like you couldn't have even bought the set anyway. So it's not like Lego customer service is doing a bad thing in this case. Like Lego customer service has been and probably always will be pretty good. It's just the way they run the business from the business side of things, not the customer service side of things, and I think that's the whole point of the situation. But that is really cool of them to literally send you a set for free, even though you really weren't affected by the cancellation of orders. You just literally couldn't buy it. So it's kind of weird for a company to be like, oh, hey, you couldn't buy this product, here's something else for free. But I'm sure it's just a promo or something, but hey, at least it's something. Sydney says, is your mom subscribed to your YouTube channel? I'm pretty sure my mom doesn't even have the YouTube app on her phone, so I don't think so. No, hopefully not. I mean, why would she want to watch my videos? They're terrible. Chris says, how does it feel to be able to Google your own name and get results? So you bring this up, it's actually funny because I got a text message the other day from Mitch, and he was like, who are you, and why are the Google search result suggestions like this? And I was like, apparently I'm internet famous now. 2 of those will yield incorrect results. The other one is my age. So yeah, we're having a little fun back and forth on that. It's pretty crazy, right? I think that the coolest thing to me, as far as like the Google aspect of it goes, I guess, is that you can find me on that little genie thing. I remember using that when I was younger to like find like sports athletes from like Boston or whatever. You know, you put in whatever and you come up and be like, this guy, this is who you're thinking of. And so you can answer the questions and you can actually end up getting me, is what some people show me. So that's actually really, really cool that I'm in like the genie game questionnaire thing. I think that's cooler than like Googling my own name. Adam wants to know, why does Lego never name sets correctly, as they name the Saber tank, the Republic fighter tank, the Night Buzzard, the Knights of Ren transport ship? So Watch what you say there. They don't never name things correctly. They do name things correctly from time to time. But a lot of it is either a trademark issue, like in the case of the Razor Crest, they named the Razor Crest properly up front, but they had to change the name in other countries outside of America that I know of, like in Europe someplace, because some other company had just trademarked the name Razor Crest. Whether that trademark is legitimate or not is to be decided in courts, but someone else had trademarked it. They had to change the name to like Mandalorian Bounty Hunter Transport. And some of that, I think in the case of maybe the Republic Fighter Tank, could have been just like having a name that makes sense with other sets like the Republic Gunship, just having those kind of matchy things that are like appealing to people and just recognizable, versus the Saber Tank, which isn't as recognizable a name, let's be honest. So sometimes it's like for making names recognizable, and sometimes it's just because a name is like copyrighted or whatever by someone else. I think for the Clone Turbo Tank, either the name Juggernaut is copyrighted or trademarked by someone else, or I think the name Clone Turbo Tank is just a better name for it for a public mass, like people that are just going out and purchasing it that are like, okay, this is for the Clone Troopers, very nice, let me get this for my kid type of thing. So it's not that they never do it, there's just a couple of reasons for them that kind of incentivize them to not do it in certain cases. Thomas wants to know, what is the most pleasant surprise of the January wave? So we did have 4 of the sets for 2021 revealed the other day, and those are all 4 coming out January 1st, at least in the United States. And I think the most pleasant surprise to me was how good, in general, the TIE Fighter and X-Wing look for the price. I think that's important to say. They're good for the price. That doesn't make them great sets, right? These are not going to be the all-time best X-Wing and TIE Fighter. I feel like everyone needs to come to terms with that. Like, maybe you like it. Hey, that's your opinion. But I think in general, the consensus is that these are not the best TIE Fighter and X-Wing Legos ever made. But they are, for the price, fair builds. Now, the wave as a whole is still just dog crap. Like, it's not a good wave. There's not a good selection. There's not a lot of sets, and I think that's just how it is, right? The sets themselves aren't necessarily bad. They're just poor choices, and compared to their predecessors, they won't live up to what you're getting. But for the money, I think they'll be a fine value. And I think maybe even a bigger pleasant surprise would just be, like, how good the TIE Fighter and X-Wing look on the box art. Like, Lego knows how to sell a product to you, I'll tell you. Like, kind of tempted to buy, like, 20 of the TIE Fighters and do a whole stack, because you know how you guys make fun of me stacking my TIE Fighters behind me. I kind of want to see how many I can stack, just for the hell of it. So we'll see what happens there, but yeah, I feel like the box art was, like, honestly the most pleasantly surprising thing. And here's my pitch to Lego. Maybe I'll make a whole video on this, but I kind of brought this up when these sets were being rumored that, hey, why didn't they just keep out the last TIE Fighter and X-Wing for, like, 5 years and just change out the minifigures or something midway through to kind of make them more interesting or spice it up and keep it going, right? I think these sets could be that. And I'll make a video talking about that, why I think that should be a thing with these, because they should not be remaking another TIE Fighter and X-Wing for a while after this. Xander says, what is the best set on the market for under $200? Well, you know, that's going to be very subjective, obviously, but my biggest choices, especially for over $100 but under $200, are going to be Vader's Castle, which is, as far as I can tell, about to retire. We also have the AT-AT, which came out this summer. Incredible set, love it. And then we have the Razor Crest for $130 as well. Those are 3 pretty dang big sets that I absolutely love the looks of. So if you're looking to spend a lot of money on Lego sets, or if you're putting something on your Christmas list, I guess, I don't think you can go wrong with any of those 3. They're just 3 genuinely good Lego sets. Sammy says, what Lego Star Wars set do you think needs remaking the most? There's a lot that certainly need remaking, but with 2022 coming up, with the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, there's one thing that comes to mind, other than Jango Fett's Slave 1, which is pretty obvious to me, but we've gotten other models of the Slave 1, so if you want to look at it on a technicality level, the Slave 1 has seen future renditions. One set that I feel like has been neglected, however, from the opening scene of Episode 2. The Bounty Hunter Pursuit. I mean, tell me this set doesn't just pop to you, right? Like, it's such a fun, colorful Lego Star Wars set. You know, people meme on the whole gray thing, but, like, making something that really pops, I think, could work for Lego in this case, especially modern day. They've got a lot of new pieces. These could look really, really clean in 2022 if they were to bring these in. And that's why I haven't opened and built this set yet. Like, it's still sealed, because I want to wait and see. If they make another one, I want to kind of build them at the same time. I feel like that would be a fun time on the channel. So I'm kind of holding out for hope that 2022 brings a new version of this. And, like, bro, just because we're here, look at that alternate build with the helicopter. Kind of neat, but yeah, I think there's a lot of sets that need remaking, but as far as like one that comes to mind with 2022 kind of around the corner, and then probably working on 2022 models for maybe even for the summer 2022 right now, this should be on the list. It's highly requested by fans, and just because it's not the most popular X-Wing and TIE Fighter, like everyone's going to recognize it, doesn't mean random people aren't going to buy it too. So hopefully this one sees a comeback in future years. Sterling Banks says, I ordered a set off Lego recently, but it never shipped. I tried contacting customer support, but never heard back. What should I do about this? This is very odd. Like, this shouldn't happen from Lego. They're certainly not out to scam you, I promise you that. However, I gotta bring up the idea that maybe you fell for a scam. It's entirely possible. I don't know all the details of your situation, but if you didn't order directly from shop.lego.com or lego.com, if you order from one of these sites that look like lego.com and they say, hey, 80% off, reel them on in, reeling them all in, get you in with those good deals. You're not buying a Lego set for 80% off. You're getting scammed. You're not going to get anything. Like, don't fall for that, guys. Come on. Like, I'm just saying that's also a thing, like, in general for people this holiday season, like, looking for a good deal. Deals aren't that good. Buy from a retailer you know, or buy from eBay with buyer protection, or buy from Lego directly. You get these Facebook ads that are like 80% off, bro. It's obviously not real. Come on. But if you never heard back, like, phone call them. Like, Lego customer service, you can literally call their phone during their open hours. They're gonna answer. Like, they can't just not call you back if you call them, right? Like, they're going to answer the phone. So if you have an actual order through lego.com, I would really suggest calling them instead of emailing whatever email you emailed, and then, you know, work it out through there. But hopefully you get your stuff resolved. I was kind of hoping to use your situation as a little PSA for people this holiday season to not get themselves scammed, and hopefully you didn't. Hopefully it's just a misunderstanding on your end with Lego there. Count Cuckoo says, will your channel ever expand to cover more things than just Lego? Hey, today's a good example of that, I suppose. Probably not on M&R Productions. I don't really plan or see that happening. Now, I have huge plans for 2021. I want to do a lot of things, and you know, that includes a whole channel that has nothing to do with Lego, generally. It's going to literally be a channel with my name. I'll link it down below if you're interested. It's just going to be fun video concepts that me and my friends do, like once a month or once a week. I don't know what it's going to end up being as far as timeline-wise, but there's stuff I want to do outside of Lego that's just not going to be on this channel. Like, that's how it's going to be. This channel will continue to be my main channel for the foreseeable future, but, I mean, I want to upload on my Ryan McCullough channel. I want to do more gaming stuff on M&R Games. I have the Bad Bricks podcast with Timmy, aka Republic Bricks, that we're doing, and we're also doing highlight videos of that. I mean, that's 4 channels right there. I'm trying to basically build, you call it an empire, the empire of the Lego community, if you will. Like, I'm trying to build something really cool and do a lot of cool things, and so 2021, a lot of stuff. I need to write it all down, but there's a lot of really cool stuff that I'm working on, and this channel specifically will probably always be Lego-based. I don't see myself really ever moving away from that here. I feel like that's what most people subscribe for, so I don't know why I would change that. All right, this is an absolutely hilarious comment, and I'm going to try to get my UCS ISD out to reenact this in my video with my Coliseum. That's probably already out by the time you're watching this video. I'm filming this a little ahead of time because I have to work on the other stuff. You know, I don't film things a day of, if you didn't know that. But he said, I'm having the random thought of 2 a.m. Ryan lifting the UCS Star Destroyer over the Coliseum and whispering to himself, Jeddah. Dude, I thought it was actually hilarious. Like, the Coliseum kind of is like Jeddah. Like, it's the city kind of built about, it looked like, if you're looking at it from the outside, just ignore imagination, right? It looks like Jeddah, and you can have the Star Destroyer over Jeddah. I just thought it was kind of cool. And then I'll bring my Death Star over and throw my Death Star on it to make it blow up. I think that makes sense, right? William Tedford says, was there a set that everyone was surprised that it came out? And pretty good answer from Supreme Leader Masked Marvel, who says, yeah, it was Luke's Landspeeder. I don't know if that was good. But there are actually times when people are surprised that sets come out because we don't hear about them through the rumor mills, through the normal things. And I think some recent examples of that were maybe the Sith Trooper Brickheads set from last year, Sith Trooper and Kylo Ren. I think that picture just kind of popped up one day. I was like, oh, hey, here's a set. Wasn't rumored at all. And then my bigger example, I feel like people were like, oh my God, what the hell is this? Where did this come from? Was the Sand Speeder that came out, I believe, in late 2018 as a Target exclusive as a $30 set. That was a pretty neat set based off, I believe, an old Kenner toy. And that's just one of those sets where it's like, it came out of left field. Nobody was expecting it. And it was pretty damn neat. But when things like literally just appear on a store shelf, I think that's when it's surprising. And I think the Sand Speeder is a great example of that. It just doesn't happen very often. Jawa says, how big do you hope your channel will be by the end of next year? So let's talk about all the channels. I mean, M&R Productions, my main channel, I have huge aspirations for. I have big plans and ideas. I'm always thinking, and there's a lot of ways I plan to try and execute this, but 1 million subs. I have 306,000 right now, which is incredible. Is 1 million possible? I don't know. But I'll be damned if it's not my goal. M&R Vlogs, 100,000. feel like that's reasonable. 100,000, gain 40,000 in a year, so we'll see what happens with that, but 100,000 is certainly my goal. My Ryan McCullough channel, which will be my channel where I'm just kind of goofing off with my friends, doing whatever the hell I want, making fun videos about pizza and scooters and whatever the hell else I'm going to upload on there. My goal for that channel is 10,000. I think that that's a pretty obtainable goal once I actually start uploading content on there, and if it's to my vision and funny and good, like maybe even better than 10,000 subs, but I think it should be pretty fun videos for an audience that maybe isn't you. Maybe you're not into that, but like I'm trying to build audiences outside of this space. For Bad Bricks Podcast, that's another one that I'd like to see hit 25,000 subs. I would love for Timmy and I's thing to grow outside of the Lego space, because that's kind of our end goal with that. Same with Bad Bricks Podcast Highlights. I'd like to see that also hit 25,000 subs. And I'm running a lot of channels here, right? M&R Games would be nice to hit 15 or 20,000. So those are my general goals for all of my channels by the end of 2021. And then I have other like sub goals for other little things, but you know, I don't usually keep too much track on those. I just, you know, I pretty much live day to day on YouTube though. I wake up, make videos, and you know, I'm trying to get out of that groove though, where I can actually give myself breathing room. Admiral Warlock wants to know if I've ever considered getting into making music, either purchasing some instruments and playing Star Wars themes or using some digital media to mix different themes. See, that all sounds fine and dandy. However, I think you misunderstand my talent when it comes to music. I am very good at listening to it. I can put on headphones, I can put in earpods, I can listen to it on speaker, and the sound goes into my ears really well, and I have a really good ear for if music is good. However, I cannot compose music. Nope. I mean, I could barely play 2 notes on the recorder in 6th grade. I don't know how you expect me to start putting together some musical miracles here, man. Boss Nass Brick says, with the first MTT coming out in 2000, the second in 2007, the latest in 2014, is it a possibility to see another one in the summer of 2021? So my answer as to is something a possibility, the answer is always yes. Is it likely? No. But do I hope it happens? Yes. Like, I really, of all the things, I don't think trends like this are a thing for LEGO. I don't think they specifically say, hey, every 7 years we're going to do this. Just doesn't happen. However, I really hope that's the case here. I'm pretty desperate for a big separatist vehicle, and I really hope they do it in the Clone Wars style. Time will tell, as with anything, but goddamn, would it be cool to see a Clone Wars style MTT. 332nd Clone Trooper says, should I get the 2021 X-Wing and TIE Fighter to replace my 2012 versions? Thanks. Well, 332nd Clone Trooper, I have 2 answers from you. Really shows the duality of man. They were actually replies to your comment. MandRproductions says, yeah, they look sick. And Murfu G says, do not do that, please. So I see you were getting some mixed responses from the crowd. When the new iPhone comes out, you know, people look at it and they're like, oh, should I upgrade from my old iPhone? This is kind of as close as you'll ever get to that, but it's still not even close to the same, I feel like, because it's not like you're probably going to sell your old TIE Fighter and X-Wing, you're just growing your collection. Most people sell their old iPhones, right? That's the kind of thing. So they'll sell their old one, buy the new one, or use it to help them finance buying the new one, whatever the deal may be. But in this case, I don't see why you would sell your old ones to buy the new ones when I think as far back as the 2006 X-Wing is superior to the new one. And then if you look at like even the 2012 TIE Fighter, albeit maybe the cockpit piece is a bit weird, I still think it's superior to the new one as well. It's just larger. I mean, I like it better, and that opinion may be different for you, but I mean, I don't think you should replace the 2012 ones with the 2021 ones. I don't think those are that big of an upgrade over those versions of those sets. Peter basically wants to know if I think they'll ever make a set out of the Emperor Palpatine and Kylo Ren and Rey fight, the duel on Exegol. It's crazy to me that we haven't gotten a set out of that, and we're going into 2021. I was so sure we would get it in like April of 2020. And I don't know if it's like we don't want to touch this scene for whatever reason because it's controversial among Star Wars fans. I think that's dumb. I doubt that's the reason. But hey, maybe. I'm just throwing out ideas here. Or if it's like we don't know how to approach making this scene. I mean, my buddy CM4 Sai put together a pretty good mock. I think there's some pretty good ideas. And LEGO designers are generally pretty talented. I think they could figure it out. So I don't see the actual reason being anything like that other than just they haven't done it. And, you know, there's no real reason as to why they haven't done it. Do I think LEGO will do it? Maybe. I hope so. I really hope they make that. It's a cool scene, and I would love to get that Episode 9 Palpatine figure with, like, the decrepit look to him. I want it. Kind of in line with our last question from 501st Bricks, he says, what are your thoughts on the sequels overall? I think in general, I enjoy them for their imagery and the vehicles and my LEGO sets that I have of them. I like all of that stuff. You know, bar a few LEGO sets, obviously, with anything. But I think the story is pretty rough. I mean, I think that's obvious from anyone's perspective. The story just doesn't mesh well together from movie to movie. And that's just the unfortunate truth and fact of the matter is that they didn't plan it out ahead of time, and that really cost them, I think. I mean, as cool as episode 9 was in its own right, and maybe as cool as episode 7 and 8 were in their own right, they were just kind of all messy when you look at them on a scale of 3 movies that are supposed to be connected. I do enjoy the movies. I like watching them. It is what it is. I think episode 8 is the worst one of the 3, but I don't necessarily hate it. Like, I think people would take that and be like, oh, so you hate episode... No, I like the movies. I enjoyed them. I've watched them all multiple times in theaters. I own them all on Blu-ray, and I watch them from time to time. But as far as like a trilogy, it's not a great trilogy. Let's Mob It says, do you think LEGO should redo the Han Solo and Carbonite piece since they now use other hair pieces for Han? No. Trust me, you know me, I love harping on LEGO where I see fit, where I think something bad has happened, like the Anakin and Obi-Wan figures. You know how it is. Like, I'm going to tell you how I feel. I've seen this sentiment around that LEGO should be changing the Han Solo and Carbonite mold, and honestly, I don't see it. I don't know why they would change to the new hairpiece, because his hair doesn't look like that when he's in Carbonite. His hair is pretty slicked back and flat, and in the mold that they have for him, it's pretty slicked back and flat. I just don't see what people want out of the mold more than it already is. I think it's a pretty damn good mold, and so yeah, I see this sentiment a lot, and I just disagree with it. Max3 says, do you think that if LEGO did a Death Star, they would do a 2-in-1, where they did the first Death Star, and then you could attach or detach some Technic connected pieces, and you get the second Death Star? That's a good idea. I like the idea of being able to add panels over like the broken part of the Death Star, and you could like finish it off and make it a Death Star 1. I have also seen the idea of basically taking the existing like playset Death Star and adding panels around it to create a full-on Death Star with panels that you can take off to access the interior. The reason I think they wouldn't do the second one, I think yours is more likely, and I like the idea. I don't know how practical it is to actually build and have it actually look good. But the reason I think the other one that I mentioned, where you have the playset functionality still, is unlikely, is because those panels would kind of get in the way when you turn them, pull them down, and then you can't play with it as easily. Like, the current Death Stars are basically doll houses, while the UCS Death Star for display would basically just be a display set, and I think that LEGO can have both, but they can't really exist as one together. I would be shocked if they ever made one set that did both. Like, it would also make the cost of it just so high. I mean, it'd have to be $700-800 if they go ahead and add panels to an already $500 playset in the Death Star. Like, it just seems unreasonable to me to happen. Plus, you'd have to have a stand for it, I would say. So at that point, like, it should just be one or the other, and I think when they make another UCS Death Star, it will certainly just be a paneled version, but hopefully it does allow to have both the Death Star 1 and 2 functionality for it, because I would love to have that option, and quite honestly, I might buy 2. Spotty Air Yeti says, how do you feel about The Office leaving Netflix on New Year's? Bro, I'm actually going to cancel my Netflix, I think. I don't watch anything else on Netflix other than The Office. I watch it to fall asleep most nights, and I watch a considerable amount of it, like, every week. Like, I watch a lot of The Office, and it's really sad. So whatever NBC puts The Office on, I'll probably honestly end up paying for, because that's just what I watch. So let me know if you guys have a question down in the comment section below, and when I read through them, I may pick it to be answered on next week's episode. If you guys enjoyed, a like would be greatly appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to help me hit 1 million subs for 2021. Deuces.